Hey, gang. Well, by suggestion, you guys already know I've got a guy that works at a print shop kind of at my disposal. You know, I can get pretty much anything, any kind of government work I want done. Which brings us to not Trader, although Scott did take care of these for me too. But it actually brings us to the Pooh. It's my main mower. It was a scrap pick, and you guys saw me rebuild the engine on it, or rebuild the head on the one side, and it's still doing great. But who I consider a comrade in arms and a good friend, Robert, suggested, hey, Winnie the Pooh lawn. So, having my little decal buddy, left some of the backing paper, having my decal buddy at my sort of disposal, what used to say Pooh Pro now says haha, Winnie the Pooh lawn. Isn't that funny? So Robert, thank you for that suggestion. And this spot here, this one clean spot, I wet sanded and compounded for Scott. He's got a guitar body that he just painted, and he was wanting a little bit of direction to see it actual. I mean, you can hear this. Listen. And then I move it over to here, and you hear nothing. Sorry about looking at funky stuff, but also you can tell and this has not been polished. That's just wet sanded and then compounded. You can still see the micro scratches in it, and those come out real easy. But look what the light does. Then you move over, and that light just clears up. But anyway, this was about Winnie the Pooh lawn and Robert's suggestion. It's also got Winnie the Pooh on the back. So, Robert, thank you much for the suggestion. I had a good time making the decals for it. I enjoyed it. And we'll see how long it takes one of my neighbors to notice that it no longer says Pooh Pro and that it now says Winnie the Pooh. Stay tuned. Hey, gang. I remembered to turn the microphone around. I figured I'd go ahead and turn the camera on. This is a 16 horse that I've had for a few years now, and it never ceases to amaze me that when I pull my engines out to start them, I know which ones are going to just fire right off and which ones I'm going to have to dink with a little bit to get to run, and so on and so forth. And you know, it's a common process and practice. But this one never ceases to amaze me. So we're going to do it together. This is one that always sits in the back near my lift, and I've got a home for it, but I've got to put that home together first. So let's see if this thing's just going to fire right off. And cold start. And this is a muffler that Jayster gave me. Said he had gotten it for his Alice Chalmers 3 and 400 series, and realized it wasn't the correct one. It's a really nice heavy muffler, so we're going to hear how this thing sounds. Come on, baby. Don't lie to me. Be a good girl. Ready? Yeah! Such a good running motor. I've got two motors from 1986. That must have been a good year for building motors, because Trader's motor was also built in 1986, and it is also a 16 horse. This just happens to be a 16 horse cast iron single, and the one on Trader happens to be a twin 16 horse with cast iron sleeves and aluminum block, and that engine is lighter than this one. Now comparatively between the two, as far as a torque monster goes, I have to give it to the twin. I can put that twin through some pretty hard paces. Now, that's not discounting this one. I just think that the torque ratings on the twin are probably higher. I don't know for sure, but there we have it. I just wanted to see if this thing was going to do what it usually does, which is surprise me and just, the starter generator doesn't even kick it over once. And it has always just fired right up. So now I'm going to disconnect the gas, let the gas run on out and through it. And that's one of the real important things when you're storing an engine for an extended period of time, is making sure there's absolutely no fuel in it. I know I harp on it, but it is important. It is important. You need to make sure that you don't leave any fuel in the carburetors. Take the bill, for example. All that fuel in the carburetors. Fortunately, it was 13-year-old fuel with little or no ethanol, so I didn't have the issue of moisture getting in the carburetors and destroying them. Everything just varnished up. But you don't often get that kind of lucky. I mean, I do with my old engines, but you're not going to get that kind of lucky, say, with a push mower or a generator or a snowblower or something like that, that someone has left the fuel in for any length of time. So that wraps it up. It's just a quick one. I just wanted to bring you guys along while I ran the old 16 horse cast iron. And I know you guys like it, that you like to hear the engines run and see me tinkering around with them. And that's really all today is, just a tinker day. Making sure that everything is in good shape. And you guys can see Winnie the Pooh lawn sitting right over here, patiently waiting for me to get out and mow. I've got one neighbor mowing right now, and I didn't want to interrupt her flow, so I'm going to wait till she's done with the area she's doing so that I can get out and get my areas done. And poor old Winnie the Pooh lawn's needing a bath big time, but that's going to have to happen another time. Right now, I just need to put it to work. So as I stand here facing the back of the camera instead of the front of the camera, hopefully you guys heard everything I just said. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. If you guys would please, please, please tickle that like button for me. I know this is a short one, but I just wanted to throw something out there for you guys. We will definitely see you on the next one. This is later. Zippo out. I'm later. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. Later. I'm out.